Pantazi. Today we're going to describe Kyusho in a different way that will help people that, especially in the technical fields and the upcoming digital age and digital mindset, of how Kyusho is interacted. Now, in Kyusho, on a technical aspect, we have 4 different terms that you should get used to. First, we have the vulnerability. This is a weakness in your system, and what can be attacked by an opponent that would cause you to your systems to physically shut down and or be impeded to the point where they malfunction or dysfunction. Then we have what's called an attack surface. Now, this is how you're exposed to these attacks, your vulnerabilities. Now, your skin, your muscle structure, your bone structure is like a firewall, and it limits the incoming attacks on your system. As example, you're hit by a snowball. If you didn't have the protective layers of skin and muscle, and the snowball just hit a raw nerve, that could incapacitate your arm, or paralyze your arm to the point of malfunction or dysfunction. And if hit well enough, it could also shock the central nervous system and the brain, so your systems shut down while the body tries to restore its normal functions. Now, an exploit is the method of taking advantage of that vulnerability, how you're going to attack that vulnerable structure or that vulnerable system. Now, the attack vector is the route by which your attack is carried out. And this is what I relate to as what I've been calling trajectory. You need a trajectory. You need an attack vector to send the message properly along the nerve, or disrupt the blood flow in a particular manner, or disrupt an organ or any other of this, the vulnerable systems, the vulnerabilities in your human system, your anatomy, that allows you to continually function. Now, let's take a look at this in more anatomical terms. We have the inside of the wrist, okay? And we have many vulnerabilities that you cannot see because you have the protective surfaces, the firewall of the skin and the muscle. So let's get rid of one of the firewalls here, the skin, and we can start to see that we have a lot of different protections. All right, let's take a look at the connective tissue. Let's get rid of the nervous system for a second. The arterial sections. Now we can see a sheath around the muscles and the skin, and that gleaming material. This is called the connective tissue. Okay, this is what acupuncture works on, this connective tissue. Now, it has a little electrical conductivity, and why it can soothe a muscle or relax a muscle or send messages into the brain. However, that's not our attack vector. We need to get to the underlying vulnerabilities. So first of all, let's bring in the arteries and the veins, and you can see that they're still underneath the protection of the skin, but it's above the protection of the connective tissue. And in some parts that we can see the highlighted blue here, it's above the structures of the tendons and or muscles, bones, and that or that protection, that firewall. Now let's get rid of the connective tissues here. Let's bring in the nerve system first. Now the nerve system you're going to see is underlying the structures of the connective tissue. So they're protected somewhat by that connective tissue. All right, so that's a little harder to get to. The veins up on the surface, very easy to get to, but they won't have as serious a ramification. The blood systems are an inefficient system. If you think of the plumbing in your home compared to the electrical conduits in your home, if you attack the electrical system via a plug by overloading the plug, the whole system shuts down at the circuit breaker, taking out major portions, if not the whole electrical system itself. If you take out the plumbing, you just have an issue in that particular area. So that's the differences in anatomical or medical terms for you to understand. Now, let's get rid of the connective tissue, and we can start to see that the attack surface is vast. It's, in fact, the whole body, but we'll get to that at another time. Underneath the attack surface, or with the attack surface, are the vulnerabilities, being the nerves, as we mentioned before, the veins. The arteries are a little bit more deep set. We can see one down and through here, but very deep set. We have the tendons, and we also have the muscles. So we have many different structures that we can attack underneath. Those are the vulnerabilities, okay? Now, the attack vector is the trajectory. And what we need to do is when we're attacking the nerve system in particular, we want to make sure that we send the message correctly along its path to the central nervous system to shut the body down. And that's why we don't find the Kyusho targets by mistake. We'll hit this area. Okay, say we're in the wrist and through here. Let me get this model under control here. Say we hit the wrist in on a nerve area. Okay, the attack surface is right here. All right, and let's get this 3D pen. We'll clear that. We'll go down to the 2D. Okay, we have this attack surface here. Underneath is the vulnerability, the nerve itself. All right, now we also need the exploit, the method to attack it with the proper attack vector or trajectory. So this is just getting you a little bit more involved in the Kyusho in a different language. I hope this was relatable to some of you that are having difficulty with the terms of the tools, the targets, the trajectories, and the effects on the human body, and it brings it into a more technical aspect. Much like your computer, much like viruses and malware to attack the inner systems, Kyusho is designed to be that malware, be that virus, to shut down or malfunction your system so it's inoperable or completely incapacitated. So that's Kyusho in a technical term.